Good evening everyone. In our last two videos we have discussed regarding the concept of function overloading. So today also we will be discussing regarding the concept of function overloading, and we will be writing different programs. So in our previous program what we did was, the function was having the same name but different number of arguments. Now in this particular video we will be writing a program. The function will be having the same name but different kind of arguments, or else different arguments with different data types. Okay, that program will be written in this particular class, and I will explain you the concept. So once again, function overloading is nothing but two or more functions having the same name but different type of arguments or different number of arguments. So in our previous video we have written a program that consists of the function with different number of arguments, whereas in this particular video we will be writing the program that consists of different types of arguments. Okay, and after this particular video we will be going for the next topic in this particular chapter, that is called as the inline function and in the friend function. In inline function we will be discussing one program, and in the friend function we will be discussing two more programs, how to write a program using the friend function, all those things, and that will be discussed in our further videos. Now let me write a program that will consist of two or more functions but different type of arguments. Okay, so the first thing is the header file. iostream.h. The next thing is io.h. So I will create a class sum. Okay, directly I will go for the public part like we did in our previous video, public part. So I will create two functions with the same name. One will be consisting of one kind of argument and another will be consisting of another kind of argument. So basically what I will do is I will create two different functions. One function will add integer values and the second function will be adding the floating point values. Okay, so whenever I had two integers, the output again will be an integer value. So int add of int a comma int b. Okay, and what this function will do is it will return, or else it will add the value of a and b, and whatever the value you are getting, that will be returned. That is the first function. Next we will go for the second function that will add two decimal values or floating point values, float add. Okay, here it will take two arguments of kind float only, float x, float y. Okay, what this particular function does is it will firstly add the value of x and y and it will return that particular value, and I am closing this particular class. So I have defined a class with the name sum, and it is consisting of two functions, two or more functions having the same name. Here also the name of the function is add, here also the name of the function is add, but in the first case the type of argument is integer, whereas in the second case the type of argument is float. This is called as function overloading. So function overloading is nothing but two or more functions having the same name but different number of arguments or different type of arguments. In our previous video I have told how to write a program with different number of arguments. Here I am writing a program with different kind of arguments. Okay, now the class part is over. Now I will go for the main function. So void main. Inside the main function I will create the object for the class sum. So sum s1. I have created the object. The name of the object is s1. Next, by making use of this object, I will call the function, that is the sum of integers. The sum of integers is equal to s1 dot add of 10, 5. Next, I will call the floating point value. Again, cout the sum of decimal numbers is equal to S1 dot add of 5.75 comma 6.5, and then I will go for getCH function. So this is the program that explains the concept of function overloading with two different functions having the same name but different type of arguments. Now let me show you how exactly the compiler will recognize which particular program needs to be executed. Now when the program executes, what happens is this particular statement gets executed. So what happens? This is the print statement, so it will be printed as it is. The sum of integers is equal to will be printed as it is. Next what happens? This particular function gets called. When this particular function gets called, what happens? S1 dot add of 10 comma 5 will be called. So what happens? The compiler will check which particular function is having the name as add. Here there are two functions with the same name. Again what happens? It will check for the type of arguments. It will check for the number of arguments. Again, in the both the cases there are two arguments. So what happens? It will check for the type of arguments. Type of arguments in the sense, here I have given the two values, that is 10 and 5. 10 is also an integer value and 5 is also an integer value. So what happens? It will check for the function with the name add that consists of two arguments and both the arguments are integers. So this is the function. So what happens? Add of 10 comma 5 will be called. So what happens is 10 gets passed to A and 5 will be passed to B. So A will be replaced with 10 and B will be replaced with 5. So what happens is return A plus B is nothing but return 10 plus 5. So 10 plus 5 is nothing but 15. So when this particular statement executes, what happens is it will call this particular function. This function returns the value that is called as 15. So what happens is this particular part will be replaced with 15. So what happens is we will get the sum of integers is equal to 15 will be the statement that will be printed. Next what happens? This statement gets executed. Now what happens is again we have one print statement over here. So what happens is it will be printed as it is. The sum of decimal numbers is equal to will be printed as it is. Again what happens? The function call. The function will be called. So what happens is S1 dot add of 5.75 comma 6.5. Now again what happens? S1 dot add. When this particular function is called, the compiler will check for the program which particular function is having the same name as with the name as add. So what happens is there are two functions with the same name as add. So what happens? There will be a confusion again. The compiler has to decide which particular function needs to be executed. So there are two functions. The compiler has not decided yet which particular function needs to be executed. Again what happens? It will check for the number of arguments. Here there are two arguments. So it will check for the arguments. In both the cases, again there are two arguments in the first case as well as in the second case also I have two arguments. Again the compiler could not decide which particular function to get executed. Again what it will do? It will check for the type of argument. Here the type of argument, that is 5.75 and 6.5. Both the values are decimal numbers. Decimal numbers is nothing but the floating point values. So the compiler will check which particular function is having the same name as add with two arguments and both the arguments are float. So what happens? This particular function gets executed. So what happens is add of 5.75 and 6.5 will be called. So what happens is x will be replaced with 5.75 and y will be replaced with 6.5. So 5.75 and 6.5, it is nothing but 12.25. So when this particular function executes, it will return the value as 12.25. So it will be, this particular thing will be replaced with 12.25 and it will be printed as it is. So this is the concept of function overloading. So the function overloading, you have to remember there are two different kinds of function overloading you will be coming across. In one case, the number of arguments will be different. In another case, the type of arguments will be different. So two or more functions having the same name but different type of arguments or different number of arguments is called as function overloading. Okay. Hope you people have understood this particular concept. Okay. In our next class, let us discuss the concept of inline function, and in another video we will be discussing regarding the concept of function overloading. So if you have any doubts regarding this particular program or else regarding this particular video, you can just contact me. Thank you everyone.